Hello, everyone. My name is Anastasia. I'm CRM consultant at Integras, and I'm really glad to welcome you on the practical session where we are going to apply advanced sugar configuration technique to overcome business challenge. So, today we are going to make target lists data-driven. What does it mean in general? That means the target lists aren't a static set of addresses, but they act on data. So addresses are moved between target lists based on significant events happened by them. So target lists became dynamic with criteria implemented into system. So let's dive into our today example that you are going to watch, and I'm going to configure, deploy, and show how it works. So, since the purpose of CRM is to become a single source of truth about the customer for the sake of smooth customer experience, the challenge of omni-channel collaboration is that one that CRM should address. Marketing department conducts strict campaigns for nurturing leads. Let's say leads for fire risk assessment services. Needless to say that the response to the nurturing may come from other channel than email, where actually what used for sending the message. For example, a campaign target may respond with the call to the contact center, and that is exactly a case when company face an omni-channel customer collaboration. And the challenge is to stop sending nurturing messages immediately when contact center receives an inbound call related to the subject of the campaign. So let's see how the data-driven company can set up logic to address this challenge automatically. For this, oh, sorry. Oh, I saw that I didn't share my screen. Hello, could you please type whether you hear me in the questions? Yes, yes. Okay, so you didn't show my screen. Let me. Okay, so now on the screen there is a task that we are going to solve today. Our today example. So, as I mentioned, that we are going to handle the case when the response on some marketing activity come from other channel than an email channel used for sending message. And as an example, we are going to say that this is a call to the contact center. So let's see how we can do this, how we can implement this. For this, I'm going to open my browser. Here it is. So currently on the screen there is sugar, and actually there are two my favorite target lists. One is for nurturing leads, for nurturing fire risk assessments, and other one is for those who actually shown interest. So the task is when there is a call received that shows that interest actually was shown, we need to move lead from this list to this list automatically. So let's do this. To implement this, to configure this, I'm going to use Logic Builder. So I go in using browser to logicbuilder.integrascrm.com. That is Sugar configuration tool, which allows me using Visual Designer to configure logic and implement it into Sugar. So I'm signed in, and let's create a new project. Let's name it Marketing Automation. Automation. And now I need to get all metadata from the sugar. For this, I can use ready-made data. It's out of the box metadata. Import from a file and use a direct connection. So let's use it as an example. How I can do this, I go to sugar, just copy the link and input credentials to the system. For example, I will use admin to get access to all modules without roles restrictions. It's now I'm importing metadata, means that I get known, Logic Builder get known all modules or custom fields and stuff like this. So we are in, it's our working canvas. And here, just right now, I'm going to configure moving lead between target lists based on criteria. So for this, in toolbox section, I'm going to use different operators, which actually perform some small functions. So we need to start from something. So it's needed to define a trigger when our logic should fires. So we are talking about calls, and that means that something is changed. And when something is changed in system in Sugar, we are using a start trigger, which is called onDataChange, where I select the module which is calls, and event type, let's say that is after save. So every time when something happens in calls, this logic will fire. Now let's think whether we should work with each call, or we should narrow down the amount of calls that are in system. Let's say that we are interested only in held calls. How we can understand that call is held? Actually, we are looking at status of this call and see that it's equal to held, and that's what we are going to build now. This is a criteria, actually a condition. And when we are talking about some condition, we are using operator branch. So I put it here. Basically, I'm going to build condition here, and then based on true or false, I can divide my logic on two passes. So as I mentioned, let's check what status of the call we have. So I need to get, first of all, value of this field. For this, I use operator getEntityAttributes. It's empty, but as soon as I define the entity which is call, I have all calls fields here. And I'm looking for status. And I need to compare whether the status is equal to value held. I keep in mind that call status it's a drop down, so I use drop down constant and looking for call status and pick up value held. So compare these two values. First one is value in the status field from call, and second one is constant which is held. So now by this condition, we check it that status is held. But we do not want to act anytime when call is changed, when status is held. For example, if held call is opened and some description is updated. It is not trigger for us. We don't want to trigger on this event. So we are going to check to work only when status was changed to held. So for example, when call was scheduled, let's say, and it changed its status to held. How we can understand that status was changed, for example, from scheduled? We just see the previous value in this field and compare it with current one. So to get previous values, again, I use getEntityAttributes because that is how I can get the value in field, and use for now previous values output from here, and input in getEntityAttributes and select status field. Let me zoom out and move it here. So now we say that previous status isn't equal to held. So that's it. I use A is not equal B and compare with constant held. So the current value status is held and previous one isn't held. I say and, I put and here on canvas and go to the say that it is my condition. So this in total all these things are checking that call status was changed to held. So this is our very first condition to narrow down amount of all calls that we want to react. What we need to do next, that we are not interested in all calls in the system. Obviously, there may be some regular calls. We are interested in those that were to contact center and shown interest to some particular product. Let's say that we have established process that when someone called after campaign to contact center people type RFI in the subject of the call. And that is how we can identify that it is shown interest to some particular product. So for this, we need to evaluate value in the subject field. So again, we are speaking about some conditions, and we put branch into canvas here. And as a condition, we are going to evaluate value in the subject field. So again, I grab my call. Let me zoom and select subject here. For now, we need to check whether there is some value in this subject. In Logic Builder, there is a special operator for this, which is called check if strings match pattern. So our string is subject of the call. For example, called for RFI for fire risk assessment. That means that RFI is a part of this subject. So we defined the whole subject, and now we need to define here in pattern what we are looking for. So for this, we are going to use again, pattern operators. So there are three of them. One check whether it's a male, one allows to use regular expressions, but for now we are going to use just trivial template match pattern and put it here. And here we need to define what we are looking for. We are looking for value RFI. Anytime when some additional information is needed on operator, I can click on information box and zoom out. So here we specify what we're actually looking for, it's RFI. And also there is a possibility to use wildcard. So use asterisk to match any number of characters. So let me close this for now. They're very similar as performing search in Sugar when wildcard of percent is using to define number of characters. Here it is using asterisk. So I put here in pattern, say that RFI may be somewhere in the middle of the subject. So that is my second condition. Let me put it here and connect with previous condition. And let me comment this as well. And let's say that it is when subject contains RFI. So we defined that call was changed to held and that subject contains RFI. Actually, we already know that it is a shown interest to some product. And now we need to define two things prior moving lead between target lists. First one, who actually called. So for this, we need to grab from call who was the participant of this call. For this, I'm going to use operator named retrieve related entities. So by true pass, I link it here. And in now it links there nothing. But as soon as I put call here, I can get it at the beginning of my logic. Let me return here calls. So I put it here, call in entity. And here I have all relations for this calls module, and I'm looking for leads. There are two relationships, leads and leads parent. Leads, it's all guests to the call, and leads parent is to which lead this call relate directly. So let's use lead parent relationship for this case. And let's say that it is who called. Let's say just who. So we know who actually shown interest, and now the second thing is to which product this interest was shown. So again, I'm going to retrieve. For now, I'm going to use entity. I'm looking for entity from product catalog module, and now I connected with previous one, and now here in ID I need to specify in which product I'm looking for. I can get product from the call. It's a field that I've added through Studio, just relate field. So this product is stored inside the call. And again, to grab this product, I use get entity attributes, and I need to input call here. So I return at the beginning, pick up my call, and drop it here. And here I'm looking for product. Here it is, product ID. It's called product template ID, but that is what I'm looking for. And input here. So now I got a product. Let's comment this, says it is product. Actually looks like I filter out all calls, and I'm sure that it is call of someone who interested in product. I know who is interested, and I know to which product there is interest. So now I can actually move this person from one target list to another one. Let's do this. So moving it's action of two parts. First part is to remove lead from nurturing target list. So to stop sending message, if there is no address C in this target list, no message will be sent. So how I can do this? The first way that I'm going to show is to get all target lists where this lead is participant. So for this, I'm going to use retrieve related entities, input here, connect with previous step. Here I need to define my lead where I already identified. So I grab my lead and put it here. Here we have all relations to leads, and we are looking for target lists. Obviously, that there may be a lot of target lists, not only one, and we need to filter out only those which is nurturing of this particular product that call was subject of. So when there are several records that we want to repeat the same steps, we can build a cycle. So to build a cycle, we are using for each entity operator. So I put it here, defined with previous step, and put here with what I'm going to work. It's target lists. So what I want to check, I know that my target lists are defined by name. So I want to check the name and check whether there is my keyword nurture. And obviously it may be several nurture target lists about one product, second product, and so on. So I will be check product as well. Firstly, I'm speaking about conditions. I put branch here. I says it is inside my cycle, so this step will repeat for each target list. And I need to get from those target lists the name. So I get the name of target list. And now I need to check whether there is keyword nurture. In the same way as it was done with R5 for subject and calls, I'm going to use check if string matches pattern. My string is target list name. And in pattern, again, I'm going to use trivial template match pattern. And here I type word nurture keyword and put it here. So by this, I will be sure that target list contains nurture keyword. And it is not enough for now. Also, again, I'm going to check if name of the target list contains the product from the call. So again, my string it is name of the target list. And as a pattern, again, I'm going to use trivial template match pattern. And what can I do here? So I can type, for example, asterisk. I remind that this is any number of characters between my keyword, and type here fire risk assessment. For example, that makes my logic only applicable for this particular product, which I'm not sure I want to. So here, basically, if general should be product name. And where can I get this product name? If we return a little bit back, here I find the product from the call. So again, using get entity attributes, let me zoom it. Here is my product. I put product here, and I'm looking for product name. So let me zoom out and zoom it and drag it a little bit here. So I need my pattern, something like this. It's asterisk, product name, and asterisk. How can I do this? Simple combining by several strings. So to combine, there is operator concatenate. I put in here on canvas, and in the middle I put product name, and here I put asterisk, and here I put asterisk as well. So here by this three operators, I made asterisk, product name, and asterisk. So sorry, I'm going to sip a little bit of tea. Okay, I'm back to you. And by this, I will be sure that target list contains the word nurture and product name, and put this condition here. And what we are going to do when we find this target list, we need to remove lead from it. And for this, I'm going to use operator unlink. Actually, it's very simple. It's just unlinks entities between each other. So as my object entity, it will be target list. Here it is, target list, and the subject entity, it's my lead. Let me find it. Here is lead. Just one operator to remove lead from nurturing target list, and that's it. Let me zoom out. So all this part is just to remove lead from specific target list. Let me comment this. Remove, let me zoom a little bit. Remove lead from nurture target list. So we are sure that we stop message lead with nurturing message, but we need to proceed on next step in our life cycle. For this, we need to find our second one target list, which is shown interest. For this, I'm going to use operator retrieve entities by attributes. That is how I can find a record using some attributes very similar as search performed within Sugar, where filters some fields from module. I'm working on completed pass. Means that will happen only after all target lists to which lead was related actually checked and unlinking from needed one. So here I select target lists, and I'm going to look for target list with specific name. Let me switch to a Sugar for a second. Here is target list that we are looking for. Shown interest in product name and static word product. And let's type this directly into the logic builder. So again, very similar as it was to the here when we search for target list with specific product, we are going to concatenate several strings here. So concatenate strings, put it here. Our first string is some constant text. shown interest in, I copy it from sugar and paste here, the most fastest way. Then I need to find by product name. Again, we already find this product name. Let me just grab it here, product name, and input here. And the last of characters in target list name, let me return just to be sure. It is product, just word product. So shown interest in product name, product. And when we find this target list, we just move lead to this target list using link entities for now. So we connect with previous step. Our object entity is our target list, which I believe should be only one, and subject it is lead. So here it is. I put in here. So here it is. Connection fails automatically because there is only one relationship leads. And actually that's it. Let me just comment this for readability and say that it is move lead to shown interest target list. And actually that's it. This very small criteria is configured. Let's make a small recap of what we have done here. So anytime when call is changed, we are checking that status of call was changed to held from scheduled or from any other status. And also when new call is created in status held, it works as well for this condition. Then we are checking whether subject contains RFI, and if yes, we grab lead from the call, we grab product from the call, and then we find target list of nurturing for this particular product, for example, fire risk assessment. And if there is such target list, we remove lead from it. And finally, after removing, we find in which target list we should move this lead, which is shown interest in, for example, fire risk assessment, and perform actually linking. So the part of configuration is done. What I need to do now is I'm going to flowchart section and save this flowchart for my for possible future changes and so on. So I want to give it the name like move from nurturing target list to shown interest target list, which is basically the main idea of it, and save. So now I can return to it anytime. And now it's part about deploying. For this, I go to the generate sugar package, click generate, and now zip package downloaded on my computer. For deploying it into sugar, I need to return into sugar, go to admin section, module loader, and install it into sugar like any other sugar package. So I click install, I click commit, and now sugar do everything for me. I'm just sitting and relaxing. I can drink one more sip of my tea, sorry. Okay, and what I said about saving in Logic Builder. So while it's installing, let me return in Logic Builder. Now in load flowchart, I have my only one logic for which implements criteria of move lead from nurturing to shown interest target list based on call. So when, for example, if I need any changes, I'm just load it, perform some changes, make some other criteria, save it again, and again I need to go get back to sugar, find previous version installed through module loader, remove it, and install the new one. Just a few buttons, and that's it, and it should work. So we see that it's installed. Let's back and wait until this loading disappears. That means that we already deploy process is finished. Okay, very well. So let's go to target lists. Here it is. So two target lists. Let me open shown in nurturing. Let me switch places. Target list for nurturing, target list for shown interest. So let's say there is lead Anastasia, which is me, and let's see that in shown interest, obviously there is no such lead. Let's open me, my lead record, and let's assume that I call to the contact center and says that I want to verify for fire and risk assessment. Let's make this fact in the sugar. So, for example, I'm a contact center operator, and I input subject asked verify for fire risk ASAP, for example. I say that it was, for example, at 6 o'clock. I say that call is held. And also here is my field product to set to which product this interest is, and save the record. And now let's see. Let's go to the nurture. Here my lead. Let's refresh the page. And I disappeared from this target list because I shown interest. And let's see whether I'm here in shown interest target list. Here it is. Here I am in this shown interest because a few minutes ago that is what we built and implemented and deployed, and it's working actually. So regarding live demo, it's all. Let me return to my presentation, at least to show what it left here, because the start wasn't shown, unfortunately. So that is how it is possible to configure criteria to move leads between target lists. You are very welcome to try it yourself because there are 30 days free trial period, and you can implement your very own criteria of moving records, moving addresses between target lists. And also, Logic Builder may be applied to address some other types of challenges. And if you are interested what, you can visit our site, and on Sugar Video Tutorials tab, there are a variety of challenges that we already addressed with Logic Builder. Especially there is webinar Explore the Power of Logic Builder for Sugar, which shows the common challenges that can be addressed with Logic Builder. So I really hope that now that brings you idea how target lists may be data driven, and I'm really happy that you attended this webinar. And if you have any questions, you can type them right now into the questions section, or if you do not have questions right now, you may contact us in any convenient way through email, through filling the web form on our site. We would be really happy to help. So let's wait a few minutes and I make another sip of my tea. Okay. Anyway, there looks like there is no questions for now. So thank you so much one more time, and have a really good day. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye. Oh, sorry. I see that one more question about cost. So any information about Logic Builder, I suggest you to visit our site Integra CRM, and let's go to the Logic Builder section. Here you may watch some intro video and see feedbacks from other customers, get familiar with basic features, and also hear all conditions of costs and what is charged for. And also I remind about 30 days trial period. Looks like for sure for now there is no questions. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye bye.